Now that I've had the Mission 1 Pro for a few months, my poor old GoPro 13 has been less used, and it's just sitting around gathering dust in my drawer. I feel kind of sad in these situations, but fortunately, I noticed that the official GoPro Anamorphic lens is now on sale really cheap, so I snatched one up. Years ago, I had a third-party Skyreat anamorphic lens, which I used quite a bit, I believe on my GoPro Hero 10. I enjoyed that lens. It was pretty cool. The only negatives, you had to have it on a tripod, but I still took it all over the place. I'd set it down and get some pretty neat shots. These are some examples playing right here of the way it looked. This official anamorphic lens is pretty cool. It's designed by GoPro for the GoPro, and once you take off the stock lens and attach it, the camera instantly recognizes and changes the settings. You can really tell the difference with the first party adapter is as soon as you plug it in, or as soon as you mount the lens on the camera, the GoPro instantly takes on the anamorphic settings that are designed with this lens in mind. It's pretty cool because it does the de-squeezing in the camera. You don't need to do that in post. It makes it pretty easy. Once the lens is attached, you have the option to take photos, videos, or time-lapse. The time-lapse feature seems a little odd to me since you can only do time warp. I haven't figured out how to do an official time-lapse, but it's labeled time-lapse within the camera. What's interesting is the lens, when it's mounted to the Hero 13, it looks pretty similar to the Mission 1 Pro size-wise. I've always felt the Mission 1 Pro has a big chunky lens. This is even chunkier, but when you set them side by side, it's kind of interesting. They both kind of have the same kind of feeling to the way they are size-wise. I'm gonna show a bunch of footage for the last couple weeks that I've had this lens. I've only had it a short amount of time, so I don't really have a true impression of it. My first impression of it is I really like it. It feels just like an action camera with a big lens in the front. But footage-wise, I think it looks neat. It kind of makes everything look, dare I say, a little cinematic. I'm very impressed with the stabilization. You can use this just like you use a normal GoPro. The stabilization looks just like it does with the normal lens, so that makes me very happy. I've taken a lot of shots driving around, walking around, and the stabilization's just better than I was expecting, so thank you, GoPro. Having this big glass element on the front does scare me a bit. I think I will be a little cautious walking around trees or bushes because I don't want to scratch this. Also, I noticed a little bit of dust got on the lens, and you can kind of see it when the light hits it, so I think this is going to be one of those lenses before you use it, just pull out the lens cloth, make sure it's clear of any debris, and you're good to go. The cool thing about this is it has a really nice lens cover. The lens cover snaps on, it feels really tight. It's not airtight. I mean, I think dust and stuff can still get in it, but it holds on there pretty well. Once I have the lens cap, I'm gonna have no problem just dropping in my bag. I don't need to put it in a case or anything. I've been walking around town with it in my pocket. It holds on. It fits on pretty snugly. You do have to kind of pull kind of hard to get it off, but pretty good implementation of the lens cap so far. All the footage I've been showing and I'm gonna show, pretty much all of it, I've been shooting at 5.3K at 60 frames per second. I played around with a couple of the different digital lenses, and I think ultra linear is my favorite. I have hyper smooth on, obviously, and the bitrate set to high. I do somewhat miss the process of de-squeezing in post. I know it's a few extra steps. I'm kind of happy the camera does it, but I always kind of liked with my old GoPro Anamorphic that you would bring home the footage and then de-squeeze it. It was almost like developing film. You kind of knew what you were gonna get, but then once you de-squeeze it, you're like, wow, that looks pretty cool. So you kind of miss that, but at the same time, I do shoot in log. Pretty much all my footage is in log, so once I put it in DaVinci Resolve, I can grade it. And you'll see a lot of these are graded in different, I've been trying out some different LUTs, trying to see what I like. This lens does change the color profile a bit. It seems to be a little bit warmer. The LUTs I had for my other GoPro, or for, I should say, for the standard lens, they look a little bit different on this, and I'm sure it's just the coatings or whatnot that's on this lens makes it look a little different, along with de-squeezing. I'm kind of happy the flares on this, they're not as blue as you would think. They're not blue, they're not gold. They kind of have a little bit of rainbow flare to them, so I think they're kind of neat. I like them better than the neon blue or the bright blue or the bright gold. I think they have more of a natural look, and I'll show some more examples here. The only real negatives I've really run into thus far is I wish for photos, I wish you could take de-squeezed photos that were in RAW. You can take JPEGs. They don't look that great to me. They look a little fuzzy. So I'm probably not gonna shoot many pictures with it. I have done that in the past with like the moment lenses on iPhones and stuff, and I kind of liked the anamorphic photos, but with this I think I'm just gonna stick with video for this lens mod. Also, like I mentioned earlier, time-lapse, I can't seem to figure out how to get true time-lapse. Time warp's in there, I've played around with it, it looks pretty neat, but I can't seem to find any true time-lapse functionality. I did shoot a long video and then sped it up in post, so you can do time-lapse other ways, just not officially creating the time-lapse in camera, which I do enjoy with GoPros. So like I said before, I'm pretty happy with this lens. I think it's gonna find a permanent place on my old Hero 13. I'm still gonna be using the Mission 1 Pro. I love that camera, it's great. But this is a different look, and I'm just gonna keep it on the Hero 13 and take it on with hikes. Use it as I would a normal action camera. I think I read that it's waterproof. I'm gonna look into that a bit more, and maybe I'll submerge it someplace sometime. I'm kind of curious to see how it look underwater. I am really happy I got it. I'm excited to use it as a more cinematic action camera. I'm looking forward to taking it out, and if I get some more interesting shots, I'll pull together another video down the road and let you know my final thoughts. But so far, loving it. Happy I got it, excited to use it. And then we'll see how it works out for me in the long term. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a wonderful night. Keep on shooting.